Hey, welcome to Quick Looks at the Casual Hour, where I will be taking Chase to Redfall. I'm sorry in advance, Chase. My name is Bobby, and Chase is here, I guess. Are you here?
In spirit. Well, in body. In body, not
in
spirit.
body, yes.
There you go.
Chase, we're going to take a quick look at Redfall, and right here at the beginning of this quick look, I'm going to say this is going to be a different type of quick look for the Casual Hour. And this is where you would say, oh, what do you mean, Bobby? What is so different?
Am I supposed to say that, or is the audience supposed to say that?
Well, you can be the audience if you'd like.
Oh, okay, I'll be the audience here. Bobby, what does that mean? What is different about this quick look from other quick looks?
We don't fucking like this game.
Well, I'm sorry. That's not different for me.
Oh, yes, fair. You don't like any of the
games.
games.
A lot of games I don't care about.
This is one that were you excited about Redfall at any point in time?
No, but I have also not been the biggest fan of Arkane's games. This is made by Arkane Studios, Arkane Austin specifically. Their previous game was Prey,
yes.
the immersive sim one, not the Tommy one from the original Xbox. And I didn't play Prey. Immersive sims are not really my genre. So no, I was never all that excited about this one, but I could understand that people were excited. It's the big new Arkane game. It's a big Xbox release, and it's certainly had some controversies going through. I know a lot of people made a big deal about the frame rate stuff for console. You're playing this on a PC, so we're seeing a very smooth 60 frames.
Yes.
We're getting all the frames of this not great game. It's been a lot of talk. This game has not been very well received by critics nor the public. And we played this on a casual Friday here, or you did, and I was there. I was watching, and it
was rough. Well,
anyway, let's get into it. What is Redfall, Bobby?
Redfall is a PvE co-op game that you can be played completely single player if you'd like to, but it has a drop in, drop out, up to 4 people get together, and you are in a town that has been, I guess, taken over by. You're in Massachusetts, I believe, and it's been taken over by
Massachusetts. Yep.
By vampires. The town is closed off from everyone around it, and you are trying to make sense of what the fuck's happening, and you've taken over this firehouse, which is now our hub. So we are in a world, I can pull up the map here and show you exactly what we've got going on. And on the surface, this is a loot skill-based game that you have a character that has unique abilities, and you can find colored loot to upgrade and put in here and unlock new things that each one of these characters brings that's unique. I'm playing here as, I don't even remember what her name was. Remy, who was involved with Boston Dynamics, I believe, or some sort of Boston Engineering, and has a little robot companion we can send out. But it's got all the trappings you'd expect from one of those. You've got vendors, you've got task boards, and this is probably the most activity of anything, vampires or humans, you will see here in this building and in Redfall together.
The most densely populated area of Redfall.
Let me see if I can actually go out. Yeah, I think I had a mission selected. But it is mission based. You go out here. It's a first person shooter, obviously, and you are taking on a cult that worships the Hollow Man. And I think that there's going to be like sub bosses leading up to him. But yeah, man, I
think it has a good premise. I don't even really like vampire shit all that much, but the idea of, hey, here is this town that has been completely cut off from the rest of the world. You start the game and you're in a ship and the water has all been not frozen, but like.
Yeah, you can see a little bit of it over here.
Stilled, it's in stasis. It's just not moving at all. And
I can zoom in a little bit here.
And so nobody can really get in or out because the ocean is fucked, and I guess and the land they've built a wall or something. But then also these vampires have blocked out the sun, so now they don't even have to worry about the one thing vampires have to worry about. and so now you are going through this town with your friends who can all do different styles of combat and movement, and you're here to take down the vampires. And I mean, on the face of it,
Makes
I don't
sense.
know if this game just had some bad marketing. I mean, obviously it didn't just have bad marketing if this is what the result was, but I kind of came into this thinking it was going to be like a Left 4 Dead. Here are 4
Yeah, totally.
types of adventurers. I know Left 4 Dead kind of doesn't really change what the different survivors can do, but here's 4 survivors. You're going through this town and you're taking down vampires instead of zombies. And I thought, okay, sure, that might be cool. You add some arcane style immersive sim elements to this, and maybe there will be some cool mobility stuff, some cool power stuff. Maybe you get a little Destiny action in here where people can combo off each other with different powers. And
Oh god, there's the vampire.
and I guess that's technically what this is. It just doesn't execute it very well.
Yeah, I'm getting wrecked here.
Speaking of execute, you
I
get
didn't-
murdered here.
Well, I just saw the Hollow Men out there. I realized I didn't have all my ammo and gear, so I put my one ability I have, which is to send out my distracting dog. But we'll let me see if I can actually. There we go. This is the one that might be able to make some stasis.
That's pretty cool. I like that.
All right, vampire gone. So we were able to survive that barely. Let me heal up. But yes, to your point, Chase. I think all the trappings there sounded really cool, but what ends up happening is that you just have a very, very empty and very hollow, just like the main villain of this game, world. And we'll share a little bit more of it as we go further. But you'll start to pick up. There's not, for a game that is wanting you to collect loot and to become better at your skills and as I guess understanding, unlocking what's happening here. There's not a lot of opportunity to do that. Outside, like we're in this one isolated spot here right now.
And that's wild considering Arkane's previous games, or especially
Correct.
Arkane Austin's previous game of Prey. That game was all about, here is a space that you can explore and re-explore with different powers, and you're going to like it was this vibrant world, even though it was also kind of dead.
It was a fun world to be in.
Yeah, like shit went bad at it, so it's not like it's filled with a bunch of people. It's kind of Bioshocky in that way, but it had places to go and things to do and things to see and things to unlock. And this stuff just kind of doesn't.
Yeah, man. Like there's
Or it does, but it's so spread out that it might as well not at all.
correct. So we've got just like people not doing a whole hell of a lot. There's not a ton of opportunity. Oh god, that guy's trying to call people in. I think. Let me see if I can hide in here. But we'll find out. I mean, like, there's just not like points to pick up shit out here. Like once you leave the hub, like you're kind of in this very barren ass, not interesting. Well, and I love the Northeast. Like I think it's a very visually like a cool area to be in real life. But certainly this just feels like they forgot to populate it with stuff. Like there's not predictable shit to grow and level up. Hitboxes are off a little bit. Gunplay doesn't feel wonderful, and I haven't unlocked enough abilities yet to say if it makes a difference yet. But AI's not been very good either.
Yeah, there's been some clips going around of enemies not being able to really understand how to get around geometry. Yeah, I mean that's just a dude standing around waiting for you to shoot at it, and not even in like a Far Cry way where you're running around and stalking and hunting these things. It's just he just shot that vampire, and now he decided, okay, I'll come after you, and
yeah, it was just kind of lurking up there. But I mean, I think that like I don't want it to come across as, oh, they don't understand what like this game's premise is. No, I think Chase, you've put a ton of time into a game like Destiny. I've played every Far Cry game since Far Cry 3. I've played Tom Clancy's Wildlands. Like I've played group PvE, level up your character, get better loot. Like, I love those types of games. Those are very fun for me. I was excited. Outriders. That was a game I did play.
Yes, yes, that was a game we did play.
That was a game we did play. I even tried Marvel's Avengers. But what I'll share is that I find this game to be very soulless, it's not like offensively bad. I don't want to say it's an offensively bad video game because there's something to enjoy. And I did not pay for this. I have Game Pass. I'm playing it on Game Pass. And I don't even think that this is a place that you should play this game right now. It needs a ton of work. There's not a lot that goes into it. It's just very boring and dull right now.
Yeah. It's tough. I mean, you hear stories out there. Video games are incredibly hard to make.
Like, what the fuck's going on here?
You have to stake her or something?
Oh, maybe. I don't know if I have a stake. Can I freeze her? Maybe that's why I've been killing them so successfully.
I don't know. But like you see that video games are difficult to make. There's all sorts of reasons a video game could be bad, and it's not because everybody on it didn't know what the fuck they were doing. It could certainly be a ton of different things, and this game has gone through a number of different situational changes. One being that Arkane and Bethesda got bought by Microsoft, so now this is a Microsoft game.
Yes.
And they had to transition from, okay, what is life like under Bethesda as a publisher to what is life like under Microsoft as a publisher as you try to build this. This is a different kind of game than the games that they've made before, being a more multiplayer focused thing. I can understand that it might not have just worked out, but also just the amount this has not worked out is.
I don't have any ammo. I have nothing. I'm just gonna take it and see what happens.
Yeah, there you go.
So you lose money upon death, and money is used at the hub to buy new gear. This is also interesting playing it. This is my second time playing the game, but playing it solo. And I don't know if I just missed out. Like, when we were playing it the last time, this box had, like, I could refill there, so that doesn't function. Let me see if there's a way to grab shit while we're up here, and I'll head back out.
So is this supposed to be like a Destiny where you keep coming back to this even when you finish it, or is it more like an Outriders where, hey, you finish this game and you don't have to play it until we make more new content for it?
I think it's more like an Outriders. I don't think this is a live service video game by any stretch. Okay. I do think ammunition. Okay, restock. So now I've got all my gear stocked up. Let me show off this really quick. I mean, this is the type of shit, like right now, I can get, I guess they're calling this, is this a common? They don't really say, I don't think. Yeah, you can buy different types of weapons. So far I've seen pistols, handguns. That one that I was using was a UV gun, and that's neat. It's also very helpful if you are playing with other people. I don't remember if this is my stash back here.
I need to talk to anyone.
Lost and found. Yeah. Okay. Locked. Oh, those I have to purchase. Oh, that's fucked up. You have to purchase things that you left behind or lost out there. No thanks. I'm not going to spend money on it.
Like every lost and found, you have to pay for the items. That's just how they work.
And let me show off the missions really quick.
Sure.
Up here at the top, you have a pool table that you get into your mission briefing. And I don't know if this is like you pick one of these and that's it, or if I have to do all three of these. Because it kind of looks like now this is saying, okay, this is the branching path you go on. Mm-hmm. But I had a grave situation picked, so I don't plan on playing this game after the quick look. I'm going to say that right now. So I don't think any of this really fucking matters.
Well, let me ask you this. One of the key selling points of this game is that you have different characters that you can play as, and if you play in a group, then you kind of have these different powers that they do. What's special about Remy other than her the Boston Dynamics.
I don't know if
robot
there's
thing.
a easy way for me to show that off. So she has the robot, as I called out, which is this little guy. It's a siren. So I can send out. Is that Bribone or Bribone? I don't know how to say that. And it'll distract enemies, which is great. If you're playing solo, that's very helpful. The other thing that she has a C4 charge. So I can use that. And then it looks like I have not unlocked her other ability, but I can do quick recovery. I can do long gunner, additional storage for assault rifle, bandoliers.
Okay, so she's got kind of, here are some weapons that she prefers.
Yeah, I think it's
Maybe-
probably
maybe
more
that
like
character would prefer different weapons.
like I can send out, if I hold, you can see where I'm going to like tell the dog to go. So then I could play back with a sniper rifle, let people come up to this and pick them off. Like I see that being kind of what she does.
Yeah, a little bit like Mordecai from Borderlands.
Yeah, totally. Well, there is a person with a crow that you can actually have.
Oh, okay. Well, that'd be even more like
Yeah,
Mordecai then,
yeah.
yes.
They have like a fucking crow that comes out. Oh, you want to see how you blow up cars?
Sure. Yeah.
Hang on.
You just shoot them in the window. That's where the car is most vulnerable.
But that car got real blown up there.
Uh-huh.
This is a $70 video game in 2023, Chase.
I mean, it is and it isn't. You're playing this on Game Pass, so you didn't pay $70 for it. Yeah.
But yeah, there's different classes that you can check out if you are so inclined to do so. Maybe you wanted to play somebody else, but I got news for you, Chase. Not here. If you start a character, you have to stick with that character. Sorry, I was distracted there. You have to start with that character, and if you wanted to play as another class, all of your ability points that you've unlocked, all of that shit does not transfer over. You do not get to do that. You have to start over with a brand new skill tree and from the beginning of the story. It's fucked up. So if I was just like if let's say that you and I were both idiots and decided to keep going, we wanted to keep playing this. Well, what would happen is you would say like, well, I'm playing as Remy. I'm like, well, that's great because Remy can do the distraction, but we probably need somebody that has this ability. And then I would be like, oh, I'll just play as them. Then I have to start over, literally start over to do that.
Do you know if you can play with two Remys? Like, do you?
Yes, you can.
Okay. So
There's-
that's something. I mean, it is a little Destiny-ish in that way of, okay, you can have two Hunters or two Titans, but and I mean, on one hand, like Destiny does that, Borderlands does that. There are lots of games that go, okay, if you want to play with a different class, you have to start the game over again. But I also think as something that is trying to be drop in, drop out, I don't know. That's kind of lame. How'd Avengers do it? If you wanted to play as the Hulk versus Thor or whatever, did you same type of deal?
Yeah, I think it was. I mean, shit. I'm trying to remember now, but I do believe that it was. You would have to start those skill trees over. I don't know if they gave you anything in particular with it. Now, I don't know if Marvel's Avengers is the best. What good looks like here in live service.
I was more just curious. I don't know. Like that is maybe the least objectionable thing to me that you've said so far, or that we've seen so far. There's plenty of other things to not like about this game.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, it seems like it's running okay. Have you run into any issues?
There's a lot of pop-in stuff, and I've ran into a few issues with just like that, but no screen tearing for me. I've had steady frame rate like on PC, and I don't know if that's the case for everybody. Again, this is not a plug. I have a very capable machine. I've got top-of-the-line graphics card in it, all that fun stuff, and I would expect it to run. This quick look's being recorded. I'll just show you all what we have here, not audio, but video. I'm playing this at 4K. I've got VSync turned off, field of views at 90. I mean, everything's set to like the highest it can be. So,
and I know I guess I've heard that some console players have been running into more technical issues, which it's just understandable. But also, I've heard a lot of hand wringing when it comes to it's launching on consoles at 30 frames a second versus the 60 on PC, and I can't believe they did that. And I look at this game and I go, I don't think an extra 30 frames makes this a better game on console. I feel like people's priorities are a little weird, that they keep hyping up the technical, oh god, I'm missing frames. Like, no, buddy, you're missing.
There's a lot more missing than just that.
Yeah, like
it's
I
don't know, man. Like, this just does not feel like a marquee title. Like, this is one of the first big games this year from Xbox, and it's also Arkane, who's, whether you like their style of games, they're effective at making games. I don't know what all went into this.
Consistent track record for sure. Until now, it seems.
Until this, yeah. And I think that I just don't know. This game was delayed. It could have been delayed a bit further.
Yeah, there's also lots of other issues / just things that kind of give you pause. Like we saw some of the I guess I'll generously call them cutscenes when we were doing the Casual Friday stream of this, and it's just kind of talking head dialogue over, or it's not talking head dialogue. It's just voiceover dialogue with still frames, or it's weird. It's not still frames, but it's non-animated 3D models, and it's just camera panning through.
It's like Ansel Adams
that are, yeah. I mean, it's just it feels like a moment's frozen in time, and I'm not saying that if they just animated the cutscenes, this game would be 20% better, but I think it's indicative of this game needing more time in the oven because they're not able to execute on the things that they wanted to execute.
Totally. And you've got not only that, but you have these incredible, like, really neat CGI trailers that they put out for this thing that were really fucking cool. And then to not have any of that personality, like, that's the other, like, it was just, man, I just feel like I was sold a bad fucking bill here. I don't think, not that when I say sold, I say it generously, but
sure, everything
leading up to it, like, I was pretty tepid when I first heard about the game, but then they put out that one trailer that I thought looked really, like, they did gameplay. I'm like, oh, this looks neat. And there was some positive reaction from people who got hands on with it. And then stuff started coming out about the frame rate, and then stuff started coming out around the inability to have, like, actual cutscenes, as we just called out. And now you're in it, and it just feels so fucking boring. It's just a boring game.
Yeah. So right now, all you've done so far from this quick look is just kind of, you're just walking around the open world and shooting stuff.
Yeah.
When you get into a real mission, do you feel like it's more authored and that there's more going on? Do you feel like there's more dialogue that's showing off personality between characters?
No.
Or is it just more of this, except sometimes they say, okay, you did the objective?
This is exactly what it is. You pick off a few of them, and then the vampires show up, and that's when you get to bust out your fun abilities if you have them. And here I think I can throw out some C4 and shoot and do that. But, like, this is it. You get vampires that come out if you're lucky, and then you have your team there to help out with it. And then you try and get in through, god damn it, reload faster, there we go. It's, you know, I mean, I'm sure that there's somebody out there who just fucking adores this, that has a great time with it. And it's so clunky. It's uninspired. It's hollow. It doesn't run great on Xbox, as we called out. One of the people playing with us on Friday night was on Xbox, and there was literal moments whenever we were playing the game, and we're talking about things like, I don't even see what you're talking about. And, like, the draw distance and just not only the frame rates, but all of those things.
There was a time where they said, I don't even see a wall on this building. That it just hadn't popped in yet. It's rough. And the thing that I think is scarier to me, because we've had games. I mean, that's every game these days comes out and is in some form of broken and needs patches and might need a lot of patches. We recently did a quick look of Star Wars and it's Jedi Survivor, and it also had technical issues on launch, and at the point of recording still has some technical issues with a couple of patches so far. You think back to the famous Cyberpunk with all the issues that it had, but the differences that I see between those games and this one is that I feel like you can see what those games want to be, and they have the framework of a good game in there. It's just hampered by some technical issues. Whereas I'm not sure even if you did fix the technical problems of this game, it would be a good game. Because I think it's just missing so much. It doesn't have... I'm not seeing where the fun is here. I don't know if it's something you can just put a patch in and you make the game good. Because I just don't think the game is good.
This is well beyond a technical problem at this point in time. There's so many layers that need to be improved on this that I don't know. Like, I don't know if this is a Final Fantasy 14. I don't know if this is a No Man's Sky. Like, Microsoft, we're going to talk about it on our podcast. I mean, this is not evergreen content I'm about to say, but we got an upcoming, this May 7th, this week, we're going to be recording a podcast. We're going to talk a little bit about Xbox and what Phil Spencer said recently. And there's so many things that, like, they said when they tested this game internally that they did not think it would be in the 60s on Metacritic. They didn't have it there. And I'm like, what game are you playing? Like, there's so much here that's missing, and I just don't know if they're going to stick it out. Like, I don't know if Microsoft's got too many things they're trying to focus on right now, where they're going to say, put the time and effort in to make Redfall great, because the time that would take to do what needs to be done here, I don't think people are going to stick around and wait for it, because history is very, very, very consistent in most cases. There's some outliers, like I mentioned with No Man's and Final Fantasy, where they do stick it out and it gets really fucking good. I don't think that's Redfall. I just don't see this game getting... I think this game's basically Anthem in that regard.
I was going to say Anthem as well. That's rough.
Like, that was cool. Like, that was neat. Like, I roasted that vampire with electricity and fire. That was neat. But then
your character said bloodsuckers more like buttsuckers. So
it's not great.
I'm gonna say it's kind of a wash at that point.
Correct.
I don't know. I think Microsoft and Xbox are in a very weird situation where, on one hand, they have this incredible service of Game Pass, and again, we'll discuss this more on that Phil Spencer episode of the podcast that we've talked about. But they've got this incredible deal service with Game Pass. They've got I see that being nice. They've bought up a ton of great studios. And some of them have hit. I was not the biggest fan of Psychonauts 2, but a lot of people really like Psychonauts 2. And that's a game like Redfall that was in development before being purchased by Microsoft, and then came out and also got delays while it was under Microsoft, and ended up coming out as a better game, as a good game. So it's possible. But then we've also seen the other games that Microsoft and Xbox have been putting out recently, and it's Halo Infinite, and it's this, and I think some people are liking Minecraft Legends. I know you and our co-host Johnny are not the biggest fans of it, but they've got a Minecraft game coming out there that people are relatively positive about. And
Minecraft's still wildly popular. That's still very popular thing for them.
Sure, absolutely. They have certain things they can hang on to, but with the amount of studios that they bought, you'd think Microsoft and Xbox would be pumping out a new big awesome title every month. And
agreed.
Increasingly, it just feels like Where are the games? I mean, Hi-Fi Rush came out this year.
Hi-Fi Rush is fantastic. I think that also, man, it's just one of those situations where we'll get into it on Wednesday. I can go on a tirade around that. What I would say is this: is that Arkane has built some of my favorite worlds to be in, and they're worlds that have purpose and personality, and they're confident. And I think that those are like the things that, if I'm being very, like, I'm trying to be critical and just say it doesn't suck, those qualities are missing from this game. And it's such a fucking bummer because, as you called out when we started, the premise is here. Hey, killing vampires with my buddies, getting loot. If you made this as a compelling world as you had in something like Dishonored or something like Prey, I would be all in. But
and, I mean, this space looks kind of cool. Like I like these frame photos. There's stuff here that's cool art. There's some nice assets. When you bayoneted that vampire with your shotgun, that looked cool.
Yeah.
Like there are pieces here, but they've just come together in a not so great game. And
Yep.
It's a bummer because this was supposed to be a big tentpole for Microsoft, and it's coming out to pretty poor acclaim. And I think when you look at this quick look or look at the ways other people have talked about this game, it's kind of clear why. It's not fun. It's not all that interesting. It's got a bunch of issues. And oh hey, there's the sun.
Sun is out.
Not, or well, I guess it's not. I guess it's clouded, but it's just daytime.
Yeah.
Anyway,
this is Redfall. This is Redfall. Buyer beware. But if you have Game Pass, check it out. Make an opinion for yourself. If you have an Xbox Series console, they have promised a patch sometime soon. I believe that they've even pulled more resources in to get that into a more technically sound state. But as Chase called out, there's a lot more to it than just those frames. And this is not our typical fashion here, but I think it's important that we are somewhat responsible for giving our opinion, and some idiots out there like to listen to us, so we'll play into it and go that route.
Yeah, like, even if this is being on Game Pass, it's there's reviewers that have talked about this, Games Press people. We've shifted a little bit in the Game Pass era from talking about whether a game is worth your money, and now we're talking about whether a game is worth your time.
Yep.
And even if you can get this game technically free through Game Pass, at this point, not sure you should waste your time playing this.
Yep.
There's a ton of other stuff on Game Pass. There are a ton of other free games everywhere. This is not one you need to play until it gets way better. But like we said earlier, I don't really understand how this game gets better from what we've seen here.
And if you enjoyed our dialogue and you wanted to see more of that, we do, as Chase called out, we have streamed this game before, so you can actually see us play games in real time on Mondays and Fridays, twitch.tv/casualhour 10:30 p.m. Central. We also put quick looks like the one you're watching right now up twice a week. So if you're interested in what we have to say in this format, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We bring over all of those previous Twitch streams as well. And if you want to hear us talk about video games or watch us do that, every Wednesday at 10:30 p.m. Central, we have our podcast, Casual Hour, where you can tune in and hear our thoughts. Otherwise, every Friday morning at 10 a.m. Central, you can find our podcast wherever you find all those other podcasts you enjoy. So subscribe, follow along, make yourself cozy. We will be around to give you the video game content you so desire. Chase, I would say thanks for hanging out with me, but I know that this was not enjoyable for you, so thanks for putting up with me, is what I'll say. And thanks for putting up with Redfall.
Anytime.
Bye.
Well, not any time.
No,
but
this is it. This is it. This will be it. All right. Bye, everybody.